Alright guys, so we are back with another video today. So today I will be predicting the whole card for UFC Seattle. I know I made a short video about it, but I didn't have time to explain why the people I thought was going to win these fights. But now let's get into the video. I did predict the main event, co-main event, so you guys should know who I thought was going to win those fights by now. But now let's get into the video. This card is absolutely stacked. We got some big fights here. But let's scroll all the way to the bottom to the first, which is Alexa Thorana versus Bruna Brazil. If I said that correctly, I'm not pretty sure. I'm pretty sure not a lot of you guys know this, but these two had fought before. Which, if you guys look right here, her one loss on Thorana's record that was against Bruna Brazil. So this is a rematch. This is very interesting because their first fight was really competitive until Brazil ended up submitting her with a guillotine choke. It was very competitive. I did think Brazil was winning. It was a pretty close fight. I um I think Serrana did learn from that loss a lot, and I think that did change her career because she was only like 2-0, and now she's like on a 11 fight winning streak. She's on a pretty big winning streak. She's 2-0 in the UFC. But let's take a look at their last few fights. Only the UFC ones. So Brazil, she lost to Loma Lakabumi. Uh I could say that kind of got me a little iffy about her. Um, it was kind of a shocker that she actually lost to um Luma. Luma's a good fighter, but that was kind of a shocking loss. Then she beat Molly McCann. Molly McCann, I think she's a good fighter. She was a big prospect, so that's definitely a decent win. Then she lost to Kong Wong. Chung Wong. Chung Wong's one of the is ranked number 11. So losing to her was not bad. Kong Wong, she has like a karate type style. I expect that the jiu-jitsu too for that fight because I thought the jiu-jitsu was gonna have her win this fight. Then right with Minchi, yeah, pretty good fight. And then Arisa lost to Ketla Suarez. That's not that bad of a loss, guys, at all. Even though it was about a month and 2 weeks ago, but that is not a bad loss at all. I'm not pretty sure a lot of you guys know this, but Brazil is taking a short notice here. She fought a month ago at UFC Las Vegas, Mario Bautista versus Oliveira. She lost. It was a pretty close fight. But now let's take a look at Thorana's two wins in the UFC. So first off, she won her contender series fight against Rosa. Um, Center Sao, not that bad of a win at all. And then she beat Molly McCann with a rear naked choke. Mind you, she beat Molly McCann by a decision. And then she also beat Luma Ben Bumi, which also she had lost to. So these fighters got similar, not victories, I would say similar fights. But Theanra, they're both good at jiu-jitsu. But like I said, I remember at one point in that fight, Theanra, when they first fought, Theanra was always keeping her chin high, and she kind of leans in. I feel like she did learn a lot. I got Theanra winning this fight by a competitive decision. I think it's unanimous. This could be a competitive fight. I feel like a lot of women's fights are competitive, even if it's not that close. But I got her winning by a competitive, close decision. Now we got Ricky Simone versus Andre Yanis. This is a good fight, guys. I am kind of surprised it is for the second fight of the main card, but this fight is absolutely it's gonna be an absolute banger. Ricky Simone, I like his style of fighting. He has pretty decent striking, and he's got really good wrestling. But let's take a look at the last 5 fights. Starting out with Yanis. He had beaten Tony Kelly in nearly the first round. Tony Kelly's not that good of a fighter, not bad. Then he lost to Rob Font. Rob Font was a top contender for a long time in the middleweight division, so that's not really to be mad about. Then he lost to Jonathan Martinez. Jonathan Martinez, I like his style of fighting. He has like a Muay Thai type style. He's only losing to either good prospects or top fighters. Then he did beat um Vinicius Salvador. That was not that bad of a win. That was an impressive knockout. Yanis, he has some pretty good knockouts, guys. And then he did lose to Daniel Marcos last year by a split decision. Not last year in 2024. He's been out the ring for the octagon for like a long, not like a long time, but like over a year now. He did have a fight that he was supposed to fight. last November 8th, on November 8th, but it got pulled out. But the fight pulled out, not from him, but from his opponent. Now let's look at Ricky Simone's fights. He lost to Mario Bautista. Mario Bautista is a top guy, so we can't be mad about that. Then he lost to Vinicius Oliveira. Not bad either. Vinicius Oliveira is one of the top 15. Then he beat Javier Basharat, who's now kicked out the UFC for whatever reason. And Javid Basharat was one of a big prospects. And then he beat Cameron Smotherman, who was also a big prospect. That he looked really good in that fight. That fight, I say he looked really good. Um, the wrestling was affecting Cameron Smotherman, but Cameron Smotherman, he was kind of tired, but he was still pushing that pace. So it made it a competitive fight, but Ricky Simone obviously won. And then he lost to Ronnie Barlekas. Ronnie's a good fighter, especially after that fight where he fought Payne Talbot, only person to ever be Payne Talbot. If you guys don't know who he is, like I said, it's a close fight. But who do I got winning this fight? I got Ricky Simone, guys, by a close decision. I think that wrestling may overpower Andre Yanis. And mind you, I don't know if a lot of people y'all know this, but Ricky Simone has a win over Marab, and that was years ago. Even though, yeah, it's still that was years ago, but still, he still has a win over Marab, and I still think till this day that's his biggest win. Even though Marab was young at the time, but Marab's is tied for most title defenses with Aljamain Sterling, guys. So we have to give Ricky Simone that credit, guys. Then we got in the light heavyweight division, Navajo Sterling versus Bruno Lopez. I don't know, guys. Bruno Lopez, I don't know if he has the possibility of winning this fight, guys. Navajo Sterling is one of the best light heavyweight prospects. We don't have much light heavyweight prospects, guys. But Navajo Sterling seems like he may be the next person to try to take over the division. Well, let's take a look at their fights. He lost against Brandon Ribeiro, if I said that correctly. Brandon Ribeiro did fight Azmat, who is the top guy, so it's not like we can really too be mad about that loss. Then he fought Marcos Bertagato with that arm triangle, not bad. Then he went on the contenders again to finish his opponent with that knockout, which was super clean to the body. Then he beat Magadov Godaleyev. That was not bad of a loss because it was another prospect who was undefeated. And then he lost to Dustin Jacoby. Dustin Jacoby's was I think it was like a top dude at one point. So that loss not bad, but let's take a look at Sterling's. He beat Sam Kell. Then he went on the contender series to beat Felipe Latu. Felipe Latu is not okay. It was a clean knockout though. Then beat Turco Takos in a competitive fight, and then beat Ivan Urslan. I think it was like a UFC 315, and then beat Roberto Barleto recently. I like Nevado Sterling, and I think he knocks out Bruno Lopez in the second round, guys. This may be a good matchup, maybe a closer matchup than what I may think, but I don't think it's gonna be that close. I think Nevado Sterling may knock him out in the third round. This may go to distance. Who knows what this fight can do? But he's already got knocked out from Dustin Jacoby. I think he's gonna get knocked out again. Next up is a matchup that I think I'm gonna enjoy here, guys. We got Casey O'Neill versus Gabriela Fernandez. Stylistically, guys, this is a great matchup. Gabriela Fernandez has jiu-jitsu with a Muay Thai style. Casey O'Neill, she has like a kickboxing style. She's got some decent wrestling, but this may be a tough matchup for her. But now let's go over the last 5 fights. She had lost to Jasmine Gervanius. I don't know how to pronounce the name like that, but she is a top dude. Then she lost to Teresa Bleda, don't really know who really that is. Then she beat Carly Judas. Carly Judas is a high prospect. This was a competitive fight. Carly Judas has some insane knockout power. And then she beat Chung Wong, who is, matter of fact, the only person to ever beat Chung Wong, and she completely dominated her with the jiu-jitsu. And then she beat Judah Sardaranka. Yeah, she has some decent wins over prospects, over Wang Chung and Carly Judas. So it's not like her resume is completely bad. She lost to a top fighter too. So Gabriel Fernandez has some good experience. Now for Casey O'Neill. She beat Antonia Shevchenko, which I'm pretty sure that's like, she's related to Valentina Shevchenko. I don't know exactly. Then she beat uh Roxanne Masarifi. She has over a lot of losses, but it was a competitive fight though. Then she lost to Jeffrey Mia. Jeffrey Mia is actually a good fighter, unlike as some of you guys think, but I actually think she's a good fighter. Then she lost to Andre Lipsky de Silva. Andrea Lipsky de Silva has fought a lot of prospects, and she's beaten and lost to a lot of prospects. So I can necessarily say was that a bad loss? No, but I think she was definitely affected by the wrestling. And then she beat Luana Santos a year ago. This stylistically a great matchup. I'm not 100% sure if Casey O'Neill will win this fight. I do think Casey O'Neill wins this fight, but if she can't survive the groundwork, she may get submitted by Gabriela Fernandez. But that is what I'm going for. Casey O'Neill by decision. Next up, we got Marcin Tyburo versus Tyrell Fortune. To be honest, I didn't know what Tyrell Fortune was until I saw this fight. I had to look at some of his fights, but let's go over this fight. Um, he lost to no, he beat Marlekis Glum by a decision. I didn't see that fight, but then he lost to Sergey Bolesly. Yeah, that was a crazy heel hook. Ever since I've seen Sergey fight, I think he was a really good fighter. So that's not bad of a loss. Then he beat Maron Denix. I think that was to defend his title. And then he knocked out Tony Lopez in the first round in 45 seconds. That was an impressive knockout, guys. And I think that was probably the best he looked in that fight. And then beat Demaro Denise by Dr. Stoppage, which was a really close fight. Um, let's take a look at Marcin Tyburo. Marcin Tyburo, he beat Tai Tuivasa by submission. I already saw that happening. Then after that, he loses to Sergey Spivak by an arm bar, and then goes ahead and beats Jonathan Deans, which is an okay win. And then beats Vic Parkin, who's a prospect. He beat a prospect. Then he goes ahead and fight and rematch Anti Dillashaw and loses by knockout. Anthony Dillashaw is a top dude. Yeah, he lost to Sergey Spivak, which he should have not lost to. That was a robbery. But Marcin Tyburo, he did look. He hasn't. I want to say I haven't really been impressed of him ever since he beat Tai Tuivasa. In my opinion, he went decision with McParkin, which I thought McParkin was gonna get submitted. Yeah, he finished Jonathan Deans, but Jonathan Deans that was my doctor stoppage, guys. I haven't really been impressed of Marcin Tyburo in a little while, guys. Nor that I've ever been a fan of Marcin Tyburo. I've never actually been a fan of him. Mind you, Tyrell Fortune Tuna is taking a short notice here. It was supposed to be Vulture Walker, but apparently he had a leg injury that never actually healed, so he had to pull out during the fight. Uh, Marcin Tyburo should win this fight, guys. So I am gonna go for him by decision. But Taro Fortuna, I could see him knocking him out here, guys. It's possible, and I'm not just saying that just because I don't like Marcin Tyburo whatsoever. I'm just saying that because I know when someone can get knocked out. Taro Fortuna, he has the capability to um, beat Marcin Tyburo, but let's see how he does with the wrestling, though, is what I'm really curious. Next up in the lightweight division, we got Chase Hooper versus Lance Gibson Jr. This makes a whole lot of sense. Um, if I'm being honest, I never liked it Chase Hooper whatsoever. I kind of that was one thing that he said after his fight that kind of caught me off guard, and there's a reason why I never really liked him. But I'm not gonna say what it was. Um, let's take a look at Lance Gibson's debut against Bobby Green. He won a split decision. I kind of thought it should have been a unanimous decision, but it was kind of surprising that it went a split decision. But he did do good. Mind you, he took a short notice. He didn't have a full training camp for that fight, and I don't know if he was training before then or not. I thought he was gonna get kicked out the UFC. They just wanted him to fight, but he got another chance against Chase Hooper. Um, This could, if he wins this fight against Chase Hooper, this could definitely benefit his career and probably get more better prospects. I think he can probably compete. He has the style. I think he needs to have a better, better fight IQ and have another way of figuring out how to beat fighters. I think that's the only problem with Lance Gibson Jr. But let's take a look at Chase Hooper's. He beat, uh, jo- jo- he beat he beat Jordan Levitt. He beat Velasquez, Barkachev, which is not that good of a fighter at all. Then he beat Clay Guida, who was past his prime, and then beat Jim Miller, and then lost to Alexander Hernandez. And no, when I said Clay Guida and I said it wasn't past his prime, I'm not saying that's not a good win. That's a good win. Just because I don't like Chase Hooper, I have to be completely real. That was a good victory, and even that win over Jim Miller. Those are probably two of his best victories. But then when he got knocked out from Alexander Hernandez, it kind of threw me off guard because I thought he was going to win. All of a sudden, he gets knocked out in the first round. Well, at least I think it was the first round. It was either the first round or he just got knocked out. I forgot exactly what it was. But um, stylistically, it's a great matchup. Like I said, I think if Lance Gibson Jr. can have a better fight IQ and figure out fighters, I think that's will probably benefit him. I got Lance Gibson Jr. by a close decision, guys. Chase Hooper can pull off the win here if he used that wrestling. Because mind you, even when that fight where Lance Gibson Jr. had against Bobby Green, that wrestling was kind of affecting him a little bit in that fight. So I don't know 100% if Lance Gibson Jr. is gonna win this fight, but I'm gonna root for him. I'm going for him. Next up, we got off is Ignacio Bahamondes versus Tofi Magaziv. This is a great matchup, guys. Tofi, he lost his debut against Orbao. Not bad of a loss. He was getting kind of outstriked, and I thought he was the better striker in that fight. And he was getting out wrestled in that fight the entire time. I think that's what Orbao is really good at with his wrestling, and he's proved that a lot. Even in his fight against Chris Curtis recently that he had, um, was impressive. But let's take a look at Bahamondes' last few fights. He lost to Rafael Fiziev. Not he didn't do necessarily so bad. I think Fiziev was just way too fast and way too experienced on the top level for Bahamondes, and I do think it was a little too early for him. And then he beat Jalen Turner, who was a former top dude. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he wasn't ranked at the time, but still, that was a great victory. Then he beat Manel Torres. Manel Torres is one of the best prospects in the UFC lightweight division. He's got really good hands, and he's got pretty good striking. I mean, pretty good wrestling. And then he beat Crystal Gargos with that head kick. That head kick knockout was very impressive. He set that up very nice. And then he lost to Livet Clan. Livet Clan, I think Clan is a good fighter, guys. But this is a great fight. I got Bob Mundes, guys. Just looking at Tofi's last fight, he couldn't even. If I'm not mistaken, it was him who couldn't even make the weight at 170. He's moved down to 155. I don't know if that will be a big change for him, going down in weight if you couldn't make 170. But let's see how he looks at the weigh-ins at the fight. But I got Bob Mundes winning this, guys, by maybe not by a submission or a knockout in the second round. But I just don't think Tofi's gonna win this fight, guys. Next up, we open up to the main card. Terrence McKinney versus Kyle Nelson, guys. If I'm being honest, guys, I no disrespect to Terrence McKinney, but I'm starting. I haven't seen much for my interest for Terrence McKinney. Yeah, I like him as a fighter. He's a good prospect, but yeah, he has 100% finish rate. But bro, just look at this. Huh? Take a look at this. His fight with Chris Duncan, right? Not saying that wasn't a bad loss. For 30 seconds, he was beating the dog out of him. Like I'm telling you, Chris Duncan was straight losing. He didn't even know what to do. All of a sudden, after 30 seconds, he literally gives up. And then once he gets him in the anaconda choke, he looks like he doesn't even try to get out. He instantly taps. Like Terrence McKinney, I think he does that on purpose. And that's why I don't like Terrence McKinney. But let's take a look at his other fights. He beat Volodikov with that Yanti choke. That was actually impressive, but I haven't really been liking Barkashev. He's not that really good as maybe he's not that good of a fighter. Then he beat Dazim Hardikov with that punch. It wasn't an impressive knockout. He just punched him on the back, but it was kind of impressive. Then he lost to Epstein Rigovics, who's one of my favorite prospects. Gonna get fight with Matthias Gamrot. He got knocked out freaking clean. Like holy shoot! I was surprised he made a jump back after that. And then before that, he did beat Brandon Margolotz. He had some impressive knockouts, guys, but he needs to focus. Matter of fact, he needs to take lessons from Israel Adesanya on how to be technical. Because you can't just be going there freaking lasting 30 seconds all of a sudden. Oh, I'm going to give up, bro. Nah, you can't be doing that. You got to keep going in the fight, even when it gets tough. That's the whole point of the sport. Now over Kyle Nelson. He beats Blake Blinder. Not bad of a win. Then he goes ahead and beats Fernando Padilla, which I so happen to like as a fighter, so not bad. And then he beats Billy Elajo, which was so impressive. That got him a fight with Steve Garcia, where he got knocked out. Then he had his fight with Matt Frolova like 5 months ago. He beat the dog out of him. First fight at 155. Um, I don't think Terrence McKinney is gonna last. I think maybe in like the first 30 seconds he's gonna come out strong, probably pressure Kyle Nelson, but then Kyle Nelson's gonna take it from there and beat him. I got Kyle Nelson winning this, guys, by the first or second round. I don't think Terrence McKinney is gonna beat Kyle Nelson here. Next up, we got a matchup that I did not expect to happen. Mansoor Abdul Malik versus Yurshir Balul. This is a fight that I am curious. I think Yurshir got the better striking, the better grappling here, but you can have the better tools. But still, the fighter who got the that who has the who's not the better striker and the better wrestler, he can still pull it off. I've been really impressed with Mansoor. He's a really fun prospect. But let's take a look at their fights. Um, he lost in the contender series to Markal Tulau, who got that's how he got in the UFC, and then fought Georgi Kalavazi, fought Adman Shaimi, and then fought again against Taga Awaki, which got him in the UFC, and then beat Azamat Verzakadiev, who's actually one of my favorite middleweight prospects by knockout. As for Mansoor, he won the contender series against Wes Chillis. That was not bad of a win. Then he beats Duko Trovavic, which I've seen that on a lot of people's record tour in the middleweight division. And then he beat Nick Klen, not bad. But then this is where it gets crazy. He had a draw against Cody Brundage. I was kind of surprised it was a draw. I thought he beat Cody Brundage, but it was whatever. He came back and beat Antonio Chocolate. First round. Freaking bullied him. Instantly made Antonio Chocolate tap. Even though Antonio Chocolate is not a good fighter. But that was so impressive. This is a great fight, but I do got Mansoor winning this, guys, by decision. This will be a great fight. I can see Yoshi winning this fight. He'll be if he wins this fight, he'll be the first person to take Mansoor's OOA, but I don't think that will happen. Maybe, who knows? That's he can pull up the upset for all not the upset. He could pull off the win because he is a little bit of the favorite for the fight. But I got Mansoor. I do feel like people do sleep on Mansoor, especially that draw that he had against Cody Brundage. I do feel like he'd be getting slept on. Next up, we got two veterans, Michael Chiesa versus Nico Price, guys. I don't know. Nico Price just needs to quit. He got like 7 kids. I get it, bro. But, bro, you losing is not going to make you as much money as you winning, bro. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, guys. And hasn't been looking good for my boy Nico. Let's take a look at his fights. He lost to Robbie Lawler, aka which was Robbie Lawler's retirement fight. Then he goes ahead and beats Alex Moreno, which was a boring fight. Which I mean boring. That was boring, bro. And then he loses to Tama Garzabo by decision. Gets beat by Jacob Smith. Jacob Smith's a good fighter. He gets submitted, not bad. Then he gets knocked out by Nikilo Arnakadov a month ago. You just got knocked out a month ago and taken a week notice, which is fight week. He took it on, I'm not mistaken, he took it on Saturday or Sunday before fight week. I don't know about that, but Michael Chiesa, this is gonna be his last fight, and I think he may get a dominant knockout here, guys. But let's take a look at his losses. He lost to Sean Brady. Sean Brady is one of the top fighters in the welterweight division. Then he loses to Kevin Holland by a dark ace choke. Not bad of a loss. Kevin Holland, I feel like he could possibly win, could possibly lose. Get an sure in the Kevin Holland fight. Then he beats Tony Ferguson. Not, mind you, it was a prime Tony Ferguson, but still a good win. Then he beats Max Griffin by another rear naked choke, gets that done. I actually like the way Max Griffin fights, so that's an impressive win right there. And then beats Court McGee. Court McGee's on a lot of people's records, in my opinion. So he's beating some prospect. He's beating some prospects. Like I said, he beat what's his name? Max Griffin and Court McGee, who are some prospects. I got Chiesa winning this fight, guys, by a first round knockout here. It may sound crazy, but Chiesa, bro, he's been training this whole time. Nico Price just is getting back after being knocked out a month ago. He should win this fight, guys. I would be so surprised if Nico Price wins this fight, guys. But let's see how it goes. Because if you look at these odds, bro, the odds are saying, even though, yeah, it may say, have him saying submission, but maybe he may get the submission, either submission or knockout. I think knockout, but this odds is not looking good for Nico Price at all. Even though sometimes the odd doesn't really matter, but I'm just showing you guys how those odds look. And then I'm gonna say it one more time. I got Alexa Grasso, guys. I think Alexa Grasso is way too strong for Macy Barber. I think it's stylistically a bad matchup for Macy Barber. I don't see her winning this fight at all. I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't see it happening, guys. Now, lastly, we got the main event: Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. I already explained this in my video. Um, this is a closer matchup than what you guys think. And I think one thing I did left out in my video, that if this was Israel Adesanya's prime, we obviously know that Izzy's gonna would knock him out. But we're talking about Izzy that's not in his prime, guys. So I am going with Izzy by a close decision, but Joe Pyfer has the ability to win this fight, guys. But that will be the end of the video, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button. Turn on notifications when you guys want to see when I upload. Comment down below who you guys got winning for every single fight on this card. And comment down below if you guys disagree with me. And I'll see you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.